So the two things I'm asked most are, number one, aren't your knees not supposed to go over your toes? And number two, shouldn't your knee not bend past 90 degrees? Well, those were the two things that doctors told me not to do during my 10-year battle with surgical alterations, chronic pain, painkiller addiction, depression. And we actually have two truths regarding each of them, because those are opinions. Here's truth number one regarding knees over toes. Your knee goes over your toe when you go down steps. Truth number two is your knee goes over your toe when you walk backwards. Now, there's two studies, and I'll put them both in the description. One showing that backward walking alone is an effective screening process for elderly falling down the stairs, which is one of the leading causes of death and hospitalization. And number two, more recently, they actually found that it works, that backward walking works to reduce your risk. But that's not truth. That's studies. That's their interpretation from studies. The two truths we have are only that your knee does go over your toes when you go downstairs, and your knee does go over your toes when you walk backwards. Those are the foundations of my system. Now, what about full bending? I was told don't go below 90 degrees. Well, we have two truths there too. All children squat below 90 degrees. Okay, well, that's just children. In all areas where they don't have chairs to sit back into, they squat below 90 degrees. So all humans, as children and as adults, naturally squat below 90 degrees. Now, I'll put this quote, but basically, we have synovial fluid in all of our joints. That fluid carries the nutrients for our cartilage. When you take a joint, such as your knee or your hip, and you don't let it bend beyond 90 degrees, your body shuts that process down. It thinks you're not using it. It shuts down the synovial fluid so you don't get the nutrients to your cartilage. But again, that's what someone says about it. That's someone's interpretation. The only truths we have for certain are that children and people who don't have chairs squat below 90 degrees, and that going down the steps and that walking backwards puts your knees over your toes. Those are the four truths that my system is built on. Now I'm getting success stories from 80, 90-year-olds. You can see my results. I put every single success story in my story that comes in. For every chronic condition that I've ever even heard of, we have success stories for it, but none of that is truth. I'm just doing my part. I'm just using those four truths. Those are the only things that are true regarding this. So because of that, I think we all have joint longevity potential much greater than we're broadly being told.